exact line, but the only thing I did differently was I changed it from hi everybody to the clock class, and lo and behold, I've got a nice digital clock running in a web page. And you know, if I'm more familiar or more comfortable with Java, I probably would go ahead and use Java to write my digital clock than I would use JavaScript. You know, there's another option or another alternative for you using Java instead of JavaScript. Alright, so what we've been looking at so far is how to make applets. But what if I want to make more advanced applets using some of the nicer methods and the nicer technology and GUI that come from, let's say, Swing? So let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. And I'm going to bring up a Swing applet. So let me go to File, Open, and I've got a little one in here called Hi Swing. And the good news is, for the most part, it's exactly like creating a Java applet. Let me go ahead and kind of put this all on one line. Now, because I'm still creating an applet, I need to import java.awt and java.applet. But because I'm using Swing, I want to start using all my Swing stuff. So I go ahead and bring that in here. Now, here's the second big difference. Here I create my class, but instead of extending applet, I extend JApplet. I extend JApplet. And then I simply have to use the init method. I'm not really going to do any kind of paint stuff here. And I use the init method almost like a constructor for a JFrame. And I can go ahead and create labels and put labels on there and menus and just whatever I want to do. So here I have a nice little simple example of creating a border. I created a border, I set some colors, I set a font, a J button, and a J label. And if I go ahead and show this to you, you could see that I've got a nice clickable button here, and I've got a nice little border here, and all this kind of good stuff. So I have the ability to go ahead and create any kind of applet, and anything that I do in Swing, like use buttons, drop-down lists, menus, I could go ahead and use inside of a Swing applet. So I like that because I prefer personally to create Swing applets versus just regular applets, because I get a lot more functionality to it. Now the last thing I want to show you is how to pass data into an applet using HTML. So let me bring up my Hi Everybody 2, and let's go over that. There's a very special method I'm going to talk to you about in that called the getParameter method. The getParameter method, and let me just point out that this is just a normal applet that I've been talking about with one exception, and I'm using this getParameter method. The getParameter method is cool. What it does is it looks into the HTML of a page that's hosting this Java applet, and it is able to extract information from the HTML. So you could basically send data into your applets from the HTML, which is pretty cool because you can configure them on the fly. Take a look at this applet tag here. Here I've got my normal applet tag where I'm saying the height and the width. I'm specifying the code, the class. I've got my alternative. Basically, it's a copy and paste, but here's one exception. Here I created a parameter using the param HTML tag. I say param, I give it a name. Here I'm calling it my data, and I give it a value of some text. So now, what I do is I could extract that parameter into my Java applet. And you can see the result of it is I could say configure an applet through HTML. If I went ahead and changed this HTML, or this value, to say something like CBT nuggets. Let me back this up. Let's clear this out a little bit nicer. Hit delete. We'll say CBT nuggets. Okay. And I go ahead and I save that. And then I come back to my application. Now, I don't have to recompile it, but watch what's going to happen. I'm going to hit F5 and refresh this. And you can see I instantly get the changes. Okay, so it's pretty cool because what you can do is you can create as many of these parameters as you want. You just list them out. Use that getParameters method to go ahead and extract that data from the HTML page into your Java applet. And you can distribute configurable Java applets that way. In developing Java applets, I gave you a nice little introduction to what applets are all about and how to go about developing. We saw that applets were special Java applications that I can insert into web pages. We saw that I used the two special methods, the init method to control the initialization phase of an applet, and the paint method to control how I want to display data to a web browser in the applet. I showed you that in order to create an AWT applet, you inherit from the applet class, and in order to create a swing applet, you inherit from the JApplet class, true to its nature. Then I showed you how to use the HTML param attribute and HTML param tag, as well as the getParameters Java method in order to extract information from a web page to put it inside of your applet. I hope this has been informative, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.